Hey y'all, my name is EJ Smith. If you guys are new to the channel, this is just another weekly recap on me growing my agency to 5 figures. This week, really too much didn't really happen, so this video is probably going to be pretty short. But I just wanted to come on here and to let you guys know some of the things I did work on. Monday, I actually had a meeting with a personal branding coach to figure out how I'm going to use my multiple streams of platforms to help grow my agency and kind of my personal brand. On top of that, I actually had another meeting with my business coach on Tuesday, who informed me on a lot of great information on how to scale my agency as well, in terms of doing some more outreach, and even if kind of figuring out how to balance that out with helping my client that I'm with right now to fulfill his needs as well. So it was a great conversation. Learned a lot from him. All in all, it was a great conversation for sure. On Wednesday, I actually had a meeting with my client and their marketing team to figure out how we can use certain domains within in order to help them out with the email outreach. In terms of that situation as well, they're pretty skeptical at first, honestly, because they didn't really know how we were going to do the outreach until we explained it to them. On top of that, they're also worried about the domain aspects of it because they didn't want their whole domain to get red flagged for spam and kind of mess up the whole business as well. And so that's what we talked about. But after explaining to them the process of how we're going to do the email outreach and certain plans after that, they're actually pretty excited on the plan, I would say, or I would say optimistic. I wouldn't say excited, but optimistic about the plan. So that was cool. And it was also interesting because it was really my first meeting that I had that really entailed me. Usually when I'm in meetings like this, I'm usually in the background writing notes, learning about certain things, but actually being a part of the meeting in order to help me understand how to fulfill my clients' needs. It was actually cool, a great experience. So I was very grateful for that as well. Actually, I learned a very key lesson throughout this process because I really wasn't supposed to meet with these people until like maybe next week, or I guess next week. But because I actually went to my specific client to ask them if I can actually take charge in this experience in terms of asking the marketing team specifically what we need in order for this email outreach to work, to ask the right amount of questions to figure out how to do this email outreach without hindering the integrity of the company. It was cool. It was cool. Great experience. And what I learned was sometimes in order to get things done, you have to take an extra step in order to get it done. My client, he was initially focused on doing this by himself, and I actually put down a whole I guess email asking telling him things about some of the ideas I had for the domains, how I plan on executing them, and seeing if I actually could go myself to talk to these marketing people about it. And he was very cool with like doing that. But the thing was that the reason why he wanted to do it himself was because he really wanted to be a part of the situation. And so that's really why things have been so slow, is because he really wanted to be a part of everything and didn't want me to do it really on my own. I guess he wanted to be a part of the experience, which is cool. And now that I understand that, I can understand that, okay, it may take a little bit longer just because he's trying to actually see what's going on within the business of what I'm doing as well, which is okay. And I'm able to understand to be patient in this process because I'm doing this for a learning experience. Like, this is a proof of value concept for a reason. And so being able to understand the business on how to talk to your client, being able to show um persistence and actually getting things done is important, because when things are slow, sometimes you do need, put a little bit more gasoline on the fire, I guess you would say, to get things rolling. And so that was a good experience as well. And then on Friday, I talked to a developer trying to figure out the next steps in terms of this workflow process within N8N. I asked him about certain things that tailored to analysis on some of the email outreach. So actually having a database that shows, okay, if I send out 1,000 emails, that shows all that stuff, shows the pipeline of people who were reached out to, who responded, who won a demo, who won an appointment, or who want to close. That's pretty much what it is. That's what I did. I talked to him about that, figuring out some of his. I wanted to get his ideas as well as spit out some of my ideas just to see if we had similar thought, like a similar thought process on how to go about this automation. And so that was cool. In addition to that, I actually had a meeting with the marketing agency to help me also expand my personal brand as well, which is cool. Um, Somebody recently been put into my inner circle, so just using my resources around me in order to find the right people in order to help me scale. And when you're building a personal brand, like that's you. And so it doesn't always have to entail the business. It doesn't always have to entail just like a specific thing that you're doing because who you are is who you are. So just being able to try to, I guess, show that more to the world is something that I think is very important because your personal brand is pretty much is your resume. It's who you are. It's who you present yourself on the camera to be, and hopefully that's really authentic you, you know. And so that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to expand and utilize these multiple platforms like I'll say LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And honestly, because I'm an athlete and I play football, I'm going to have to figure out the two main platforms that I really want to scale my business with in terms of this small period of time that I would have in the fall. And so knowing that is important and then being able to put certain systems in place in order to still have some form of your business running um is important. And so that's pretty much it. I mean, I told you guys it would be quick. It don't really, it's probably like an average video now. So, I appreciate it. Obviously, you guys see, like, I'm back at my crib. I was actually in Dallas for the weekend for Father's Day. Went to a men's conference. Very grateful for that. Um, Obviously, we talked about how to be men, godly men, I would say, men of God. Um, got many perspectives on how to grow in my faith, which I thought was very important, and how to have a relationship with God and put and bring God into everything in your life. I think that was the biggest thing for me that I learned is bringing Him into my meetings, um, bringing Him into how I do certain like build my workflows, bringing Him into how I do things on the field in the weight room and stuff like that. And important for you to not put God just on a list, I would say, but God being a part of that list that you create for yourself. For me, for example, you know, it's my faith, family, friends, you know, football, school, so on and so forth. But instead of having my faith being my number one, actually putting my faith should be the entire list. Should have God in all of those situations, and all of those dreams and aspirations that I do have. God should be a part of that. And so that's something that I learned. That's something that I'm grateful for. And yeah, I thank you guys. If you guys stayed this long to watch, to listen to this video, I hope you guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys next week.